Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to my channel where I review and talk about music. Today we're talking about KATSEYE. KATSEYE. Beautiful Chaos is an EP in the literal and metaphorical sense, short, scattered, and ironically titled. Marketed as a global girl group formed through I-dle and Geffin's overhyped survival show The Debut, Dream Academy, KATSEYE's new project fails to offer anything close to musical cohesion, identity, or originality. With only 5 tracks totaling just under 13 minutes, Beautiful Chaos feels less like an album and more like a rushed mood board, hastily assembled to ride a marketing wave rather than present a genuine artistic statement. The most glaring issue? There's no real musical direction. Every track feels like the group is playing dress-up, cycling through genre tags and half-formed aesthetics, without fully owning any of them. It's not that the members aren't talented. Some clearly are, but Hype's strategy reduces them to polished mannequins in a fast-fashion concept parade. What could have been a moment to introduce a bold, international pop vision ends up sounding like a demo reel of trendy sounds stripped of soul. Let's break down the tracks. Gnarly kicks off the EP with noisy production and thin vocals, setting a chaotic tone, but not the kind promised in the title. The song leans into gang-light energy but lacks the attitude or polish needed to pull it off. The chorus is cluttered and underdeveloped, and rather than sounding experimental, it feels awkwardly pieced together. It's an intro that tries to scream cool but whispers incomplete. Gabriella is the most interesting attempt conceptually. Its namesake and Latin-inspired rhythms hint at diversity, but the execution is shallow. Instead of leaning into cultural nuance or bold storytelling, it's a patchwork of phrases and ideas that ultimately go nowhere. It wants to feel global but ends up sounding generic, like an AI wrote a Camila Cabello B-side. Even worse, the production tries to mask the lack of lyrical depth with synthetic flair. It sounds so 2017 and stale. We now know why the song was rejected by famous singers. Game Boy sounds like a leftover from the early 2010s electropop vault. The beat is flat, and the vocals, though better delivered here, are suffocated by a layer of lifeless auto-tune. There's an obvious attempt to be quirky or fun, but the song lacks spark. It's concept pop at its most forgettable, pretty on the outside, empty on the inside. You hear it once, and then never think about it again. Also, the line distribution among the members seems so unfair. Yoonchai barely got any lines. Mean Girls wants to be the attitude track, but it barely makes an impression. Instead of delivering a sharp, confident anthem, we get a bland, posturing beat with lyrics that feel like a BuzzFeed caption from 2016. The girls try to sell the sass, but the track feels too manufactured to land any real punch. It's a missed opportunity to explore real edge or emotion. MIA closes the project in under 2.5 minutes, and by this point, you kind of wish the whole thing had gone MIA entirely. The track is rushed and underwritten, fading out just as it seems to find its footing. It's the kind of song that could have gone somewhere with more time, but instead, it just ends abruptly, much like the EP itself. The bigger problem, style over substance. The real tragedy of Beautiful Chaos isn't just the underwhelming tracks, but the wasted potential of a group that could have meant something. Hybe's global group branding feels like a hollow buzzword here. The group is just as K-pop as other K-pop groups, but somehow clowning as global group. Where's the cultural fusion? Where's the artistic vision? Instead, we get a digital pop collage with none of the heart or hunger that makes real global girl groups out there so compelling. I'm talking about newly debuted groups that's so rich in musicality like Flow, Say Now, Citizen Queen, No Na, etc. Those acts bring a sense of identity and depth to their music. KATSEYE brings lip-sync performances and TikTok choreography. If this is what Hybe thinks global group means, then KATSEYE will have a hard time competing with the global girl groups that have established a sonic identity with their debut. It's frustrating to see a group of young, capable women thrown into a blender of commercial strategy instead of being developed as artists. The members aren't the problem, they're just being served on a fast food tray by a label looking for quick streams and viral clips. Seriously, take away the high-budget, over-the-top music videos, the group's wannabe relatable personality off-screen that just screams uncivility, and their insincere attitude towards their own music or career because rich sugar daddy, Hybe, is going to buy them success anyways. KATSEYE has no identity or depth or sound for a one-year group. They seem busy playing dress-up rather than establish a musical direction. We've seen more K-pop groups younger than them that have established "we know what we're doing" energy, unlike KATSEYE, who is just desperate for that 5 minutes of fame before people get tired of how mediocre they are. Conclusion: a global launch only for TikTok and pop culture media. At the end of Beautiful Chaos, you're left not impressed, but confused. What does KATSEYE sound? What do they stand for? Why debut with 5 undercooked tracks that reveal more about Hybe's marketing instincts than the group's actual potential? In trying to be everything, KATSEYE ends up being nothing, at least musically for now. Let's hope this was just a soft launch and not the main course, because the group, or at least the individuals in it, deserve better than this forgettable EP dressed up as versatile. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts are.
Bye.